Good morning, students. Okay, all of you do one action for big, small, and do the action for big, small. Very good, students. Shall we recall what we studied in the previous class? Okay. And say, students, what is the title of the story? Yes, this title of the story is Too Big, Too Small, isn't it? Too big, too small. Okay, and this story was written by Lavanya Karthik. Okay, and this story was written by Lavanya Karthik. Okay, just recall what we studied.
Too big, too small. Author Lavanya Karthik. I can't lift you up, Shanu.
Says Mom.
You are too big. You can't walk to school alone, Shanu.
Says Dad.
You are too small. You can't sleep in the baby's cot, Shanu.
Says Grandpa.
You are too big. You can't carry the baby to the park, Shanu.
Says Grandma.
You are too small. Shanu is puzzled. Too big, too small. How can she be too big and too small all at once? Too big to wear her old pink frock. Too small to make dosas at the stove. Too big to climb up on Grandpa's back. Too small to carry the baby on hers.
In this story, the girl name was Shanu and she seems like you. That is, and your stage only. Okay, that means small grown child. You are also small grown child. Okay, and she called her mother Ammi, isn't it? And she called her father Appu and called her grandfather Dadu and called her grandmother Daddy, isn't it? Sometimes Ammi said, you are too big. And sometimes Appu said, you are too small. Sometimes Dadu said, you are too big. Sometimes Daddy said, you are too small. And immediately Shanu puzzled. Puzzled means confused, isn't it? Up to here we studied in the previous class, isn't it? Shanu puzzled, am I big or small? He again puzzled. What can I do? Okay, let us see. Shanu again puzzled. What am I the right size for? Shanu wonders. Wonders means surprise. Achyariyamaita. Ammi smiles and says, you're just big enough to go to school, isn't it? And you too also just big. Not too big, just big, isn't it? That wise Ammi also said. And you're just small enough for me to carry you on my shoulders, says Appu. And Shanu's Appu told, you're just small enough for me to carry you on my shoulders. Sometimes your father also carry you on his shoulders, isn't it? Okay, just remember it. Is it very enjoyable days, isn't it? Very good. You're just enough to take me for my morning walks, says Dadu. Dadu means grandfather, isn't it? And grandfather told, you're just big, not too big. You're just big enough to take me for my morning walks. says Dadu. Sometimes our grandfather also picked us to the morning walking, isn't it? Okay, that's also very enjoyable. And you're just small enough for me to tell stories too, says Daddy. Daddy means grandmother, isn't it? And grandmother stories are very enjoyable, isn't it? It's very interesting. And here also, Shanu's daddy told, you're just small, not too small, you're just small enough for me to tell stories too. And you will always be the perfect size for this. Perfect means the best. Perfect means the best. They all say and give her a warm, wonderful hug. You will always be a perfect size. All are now time said to her. You always perfect size for this. They all say and give her a warm. Warm means friendly hug. Hug. They are அணைச்சிக்கிடுறாங்க அவளை. Hug. Wonderful hug. Okay. That is their love. Isn't it? And sometimes when you cried, sometimes your grandmother and your grandfather and also your mom and also your father give you a wonderful hug, no? Okay, likewise. Now Shanu very enjoyed their love, isn't it? She smiles, isn't it? Okay, that's all. And always you have to don't think I'm always well grown child. Don't think like that. Sometimes you are too small, sometimes you are too big, isn't it? Always not too big. Okay, you're just big, just small. Okay, just always remember you. Always help your mother and help your father and also help your grandfather and always help your grandmother also. Okay. Next, all of you take down your English book, Gulmohar English book. Turn the page number 1 and see the first lesson and the heading of this lesson, too big, too small. All of you repeat and also point out with your pencil. Take down your pencil. Okay, and follow with me. I cannot lift you up, Shanu, says Ammi. You're too big. You cannot walk to school alone. Shanu, alone. Shanu, says Appu. You're too small. Okay, you should underline the new word of alone. And next one, you cannot sleep in the baby's cot. You cannot sleep in the baby's cot. Shanu, says Dadu. You're too big. You cannot carry the baby to the park. Shanu, says Daddy. You're too small. Underline the name word carry. New vocabulary. Carry. To bring up. Shanu is puzzled. What is the meaning of puzzled? Already we studied, isn't it? Confused. Puzzle means confused. Shanu puzzled. Too big, too small. How can she be both? That is, she is too big or small. Too big to wear her old pink frog, but too small to make dosas on the stove. Too big to climb up on Dadu's bag. Climb up. Underline the word climb up. This is also new word. But too small to carry the baby on hers. But too small to carry the baby on hers. and turn the next page. All of you read carefully and repeat what I am reading. Am I the right size for? What am I the right size for? Shanu wonders. You should underline the wonders. Ammi smiles and says, "You're just big enough to go to school. You're just big enough to go to school. And you're just small enough for me. You're just small enough for me to carry you on my shoulders." So shoulders means தோள்கள். Says Appu, "You're just big enough to take me. You're just big enough to take me for my morning walks." Says Dadu. "And you're just small enough for me. You're just small enough for me to tell stories too. To tell stories too," says Dadui. "And you will always, always be the perfect size for this. And you will always, always be the perfect size for this." They all say and give her a warm, wonderful hug. Underline the perfect, warm hug. And give her a warm, wonderful hug. Now Shanu was happy, isn't it? Her family also happy. Okay. Students, all of you take down your 5 subject note and turn the lesson 1 page. Already we written. And 2-6 we already written, isn't it? We have written in the previous class. And you should write the date, today's date, 18/8/20. And we already leave a gap for 7 and 8, 9, 10, isn't it? And you should write the 7. Now we are going to write the 7th one, wonders. All of you say wonders. WONDERS, wonders. All of you say WONDERS, wonders. And next one, perfect. PERFECT, perfect. PERFECT, perfect. Warm. WARM, warm. WARM, warm. And 10th one, hug. HUG, hug. HUG, hug. Already we have written the second Roman letter up to 1 to 5. And next we are going to write the 6th, 7th, 8th. And the 6th one is wonder, surprise. Wonder, surprise. All of you say surprise. Yes, you are. Sir, P-R-I. S-E-S. Surprise. Wonder, surprise. Perfect. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. Perfect. Perfect. The best. Perfect. The best. Perfect. The best. And 8th one, warm. Warm. Friendly. Warm. Friendly. Warm. Friendly. Okay, up to here we have to write. And this is your assignment work, the second Roman letter from 1 to 8. And today's assignment work is synonyms, that is second Roman letter synonyms. What is synonyms? Meanings, isn't it? And second Roman letter synonyms 1 to 8. You study and write thoroughly. Okay, thank you for watching. We will see you in the next class.